So today we're gonna fix some holes and cracks and stuff in walls, and got a pretty big hole here. I actually started on this yesterday. A lot of people think that when you have a hole this big you have to cut it out like stud to stud, but you really don't need to. You just need a backer in there of some sort. So I used Great Stuff. It's Great Stuff gaps and cracks. It expands quite a bit actually. I filled it up there and then it swelled out of there like that, and I took my knife, my pocket knife, and I cut around it like this, and then I took it off there, and then I scraped the excess off and got it flat. So now there's a good backer in there. I don't need to cut out the sheetrock anymore. Or you can use newspaper, you can use regular fiberglass insulation, just jam it in there for a backer. That's really all you need. You know, a lot of people think the Great Stuff will push out the wall, but this sheetrock's pretty strong, so it won't push out the wall if you fill it up with Great Stuff. You know, don't worry about that. Yeah, and then you got your backer in there, and then we'll get to actually fixing it here in a little bit. You got a little hole like this right here. You don't need any kind of backer. You don't need to cut it out or anything. You don't need to fill it up with Great Stuff. I'll show you how to do that later too.
Yeah.
What we're doing here is I'm mixing some quick set mud. This stuff sets up like concrete in about 20 minutes, and it doesn't crack like the lightweight stuff does, but it sands a little harder, so you got to be more careful with it. And we take that over to the hole like this. Take and put it in the hole like this. Just cover it right over. And you go usually on the edges. Take your fingers like this and kind of, you know, you do that after every step when you're working. See how there's a light orange peel on here? You do that after every step. You just kind of feather it a little bit with your fingers. Some people use sponges, some people do it other ways, but I found my fingers work the easiest. Alright, then we'll let that set up and then we'll put another coat on it later. If you don't blend it in, see here's an old patch that somebody did. You see how there's a ridge along the edge? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take and kind of blend that a little bit. And then when it comes to texturing, I'll come back and I'll texture that spot, and you won't even be able to know it's there. On a big one that nobody fixed right, they patched it, but they didn't feather it out nice, and they didn't texture it, so I'll do that. I'm just kind of smoothing it out. I found circles help too. Just kind of do that, and then let that dry. Then a little hole like this. Just remember I said you don't need any kind of backer for that. Put your mud in there. That. Go around with your fingers like this. Kind of blend it into that orange peel there. And then it's done for now. A lot of people don't know about this trick right here. Going around and blending it in. So that's how you fill up drywall holes without creating extra work.